Ashima, in Canaanite mythology, is a figure whose presence is somewhat enigmatic, but her influence within the pantheon is significant. Often linked to the ancient religious practices of the Semitic-speaking peoples of the Levant, Ashima was a goddess of fertility and harvest, a protector of crops, and a figure who embodied the natural cycles of growth and sustenance. She is notably mentioned in the Hebrew Bible, in the context of the worship practices that were prevalent among the Canaanites and later adopted by various Semitic groups. Her name, Ashima, is believed to derive from the root shm, which means to protect or to save. This suggests that she was invoked for her protective qualities, particularly in the context of agriculture, where the protection of crops from blight, pests, and the harsh elements was vital. The Canaanites, like many ancient peoples, depended heavily on the fertility of the land, and deities associated with this domain were often highly revered. Ashima was often portrayed in religious texts as a female figure, and she may have been worshipped in the form of a cult statue or through symbolic offerings. The Canaanite pantheon was known for its complex array of gods and goddesses, each responsible for different aspects of life and nature. Ashima's role, however, stands out due to the particular focus on agrarian fertility, positioning her as an essential figure for the sustenance of the Canaanite people. In ancient Canaan, religious rituals and ceremonies often took place in high places, such as hilltops, where offerings and prayers were made to ensure bountiful harvests. Interestingly, Ashima is also mentioned in the biblical context, specifically in 2 Kings 17 verse 30, where the worship of Ashima is recorded as part of the broader pantheon of gods adopted by the people of Samaria. This reference is significant, as it sheds light on the syncretistic nature of religious practices in the ancient Near East, where the worship of different gods from neighboring cultures often overlapped and merged. While much of what is known about Ashima is drawn from these limited references, there is an indication that she was part of a broader tradition of fertility goddesses. The Canaanites and many of their contemporaries in the ancient Near East placed a high value on the divine forces that controlled the natural world, especially the forces that govern the cycles of planting, growth, and harvest. In this context, Ashima's role as a goddess of fertility would have been a central and indispensable part of the Canaanite religious framework. In conclusion, Ashima may not be one of the more widely known deities in Canaanite mythology, but her importance in ancient agricultural practices is undeniable. As a fertility goddess, she represented the sustenance of life, a concept that was crucial in a world where survival depended largely on the land's ability to provide. The worship of Ashima was deeply embedded in the rituals and beliefs of the Canaanite people, highlighting the intertwining of religion with the natural environment and the human need for divine protection and blessings. Though her name has largely faded from the mainstream historical consciousness, her legacy as a figure of life and sustenance remains embedded in the complex and rich tapestry of Canaanite mythology.